How you doing, guys? This is Dan with Iron Dan Games, and I'm going to show you a template I created to be used within GameSalad. It's called It's Alive, and basically it's an artificial intelligence template. What does that mean? Simply means you're going to give a brain to something that is brainless, life to something that is lifeless, and I'll demonstrate how it works here. I'm going to pause it for a second and explain why I'm using a maze to demonstrate the pathfinding. It's very simple. Pathfinding is all about intelligently getting from point A, which in this situation is the ghost, to point B, which is the Pac-Man, while navigating around obstacles. And again, in a maze is filled with walls, which are obstacles. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unpause it and let Blinky do what he was designed to do, find Pac-Man. Okay, and as you can see, he found him. What's he doing now? He's moving around that little corridor of walls, simply because I did not code him to do anything when he reaches Pac-Man. That is completely up to you. Whatever you want him to do, he'll do. If I move to a different area, Blinky again, he's going to reevaluate his next step, and he's going to make a decision based on where I am, and he's going to go ahead and find me. So, am I really safe anywhere? You know, like, is there anywhere I can go in this world, in this maze, where Blinky is not going to find me? No, because pathfinding is all about finding your target, and that's what Blinky's doing. He's finding me. He's finding the Pac-Man. So let's see. How is this accomplished? Okay. Well, basically, it's accomplished, and I'll show you inside the scenes. You have a Pac-Man. You have a ghost. You have a background. Where are the walls? There are no walls. Why? We don't need them. We have tables. So if you look into the table, this specific template was set up at 480 by 320. Each tile would represent a 16 by 16 pixel dimension. So what's that mean? That means there's going to be 600 rows. Each row is its own 16 by 16 square grid, and each one of them has its own X and Y coordinate. Unwalkable, which means is there a wall there or not? Let's see. If I click it, now it's true. So there's a wall there. There's no wall there. It's that simple. When you want to set up your levels, there's a wall, there's a wall, there's a wall. And if you don't want them, you don't have them. And I'll explain a little bit in a second. Directions, they're integers. It's basically values, and they're going to go ahead and tell you directions based on the rules that are created with inside the actors. Everybody's well noted, so you're going to understand what's going on, and you're going to see that this is going to go ahead and let you know the locations. Okay. I use constraints. A lot of people are concerned. Constraints are performance. They drop performance. They really they're very valuable when making a game. Okay, and they're very necessary. If overused, sure. I'm using constraints in both the actors, and I still get a solid 55 plus frames per second. That's running on an iPhone 4, and then you also have all the rules that give them different directions about how they move through the maze, what they're supposed to do. And again, you don't have to change anything inside. These guys are set up already. All the changes that you do are all made within the table, and that's it. Now you're probably wondering, well, okay, so I have these tables. How do I make a level? How do I decide? Well, I gave a blank grid, and basically, like I said before, there's 600 rows. Each row is a square grid, 16 by 16. Okay, so you have rows 1 to 30, all the way up to 600. All right, so this is your blank layout. You can just overlay this as your background in whatever art program you use, and then you just create your level over it. And I'll show you kind of how I set up this one. Basically, this one, if you notice, and I'll open up two, it's the same level. It's the same exact level. I have a blank, and I went ahead and just overlaid a blank onto, my blank map or maze on top of my open grid. I used Photoshop for this, and once I set it up, then I just put in the coordinates, and the coordinates are always going to be the same. I'm not going to go into detail on how that's done here, but inside your README file, after, you're going to go ahead and see what you purchased, how it's used, why I chose Pac-Man, how to use the grid image, how to use the table layout image, how to use the Pac-Man mage image, and all pathfinding referenced for the Blinky Ghost. Pac-Man uses the tables as well, but he's a little bit different. And again, his movements in this specific template are all set up through swipe, you can easily map it out to a joystick, a D-pad, what have you, because it's either up, down, left, or right. All right, and you can adapt it to any style you want. But once again, this is basically what you get. You can turn around and use this. You can use the rules within this to create any grid, any size, for any style of game that needs an intelligent actor. Hope you've enjoyed watching the video. This will be available for purchase in the GameSalad marketplace once it's approved, and it'll also be available at IronDanGames.com. Currently, right now, IronDanGames.com is down as it's going through a large overhaul, but it will be up and running for purchase. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.